Hello, and thank you very much for attending my speech. This is Francisco Vega from University of Extremadura from Spain. Of course, we would like to celebrate this conference at Osaka, Japan, but the health situation has prevented it. I'm going to try to do this speech as pleasant as possible. Today, I would like to speak about our last research, in which we try to determine the intention of using Web 2.0 teaching tools after pandemic COVID-19 by university teachers from Spain. The title of this speech will be Perceived Self-Efficacy and its Influence on the Intention of Using the Web 2.0 Teaching Tools by the Spanish faculty staff. Changes from COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, let's go then. The current pandemic of COVID-19 has made for a profound change in the lives of European citizens, specifically in the countries that were affected the most at the beginning, like Spain, like my country, like the country of this research. The university has been no exception, and it has been forced to adapt to the new situation. In this context, face-to-face teaching or traditional teaching was changed by online teaching during the confinement. Due to this, Web 2.0 teaching tools have been used by university teachers in order to adapt the teaching learning process to the new situation. But what is a Web 2.0 teaching tool? We can define it as a range of web-based applications that allow users to collaboratively create content and communicate with others around the world. Of course, these tools have pros and cons. Some of these pros, their usefulness in improving collaboration, commitment, digital skills, knowledge sharing and autonomy, and their lower cost. Some of these cons for teaching, the lack of knowledge and teacher training on how to use these tools, the potential for distraction, the learning objective or the primitive, the principle, the aim objective, and from my point of view also the loss of information about our students as a result of the lack of real contact. For example, like at classroom, we can know if a student gets bored, but without face-to-face teaching, we cannot know if some of our students get bored. In this case, in resume, COVID-19 pandemic have created a new learning teaching world. If we analyze previous literature, we can find a lot of determining factors of decision. This study is based on the assumption that university faculties are made up of thoughtful individuals whose decisions are the results of a rational and careful process of analysis of the anticipated consequences conditioned by personal, professional, and social variables. In this sense, previous studies have shown the importance of some determining factors for the intention of using Web 2.0 teaching tools. Actually, attitude is the most influential determining factor. But what is attitude? We can define it as the set of belief that leads on to favor the performance of a certain action or to see an action as desirable. With this definition of attitude, our main hypothesis is that the more positive the instructor's attitude towards the use of Web 2.0 teaching tools, the greater the perception of how these tools will change his or her teaching in the coming years. In order to test our hypothesis, we have made a questionnaire, a self-administered online questionnaire that we send online to to 41,553 faculty teachers from Spain. Our sample size was 1,344 faculty staff, and the geographical scope, as I have said, it was Spain. The fieldwork, or the the online questionnaire was spread on April 2020. I don't have too much time, so I won't analyze the sample characteristics. I only would like to say that this sample is consistent and representative according to the studies about number and representation of university teachers in Spain. I also add to this presentation some webpage where you can say all these results. We also test our hypothesis according to some sociodemographic determining factors, as usual: gender, age, and academic field, and all these three determining factors were significant. This means that according to gender, according to age, and according to academic field, there are differences in the intention to use Web 2.0 teaching tools after pandemic COVID-19. Okay, our hypothesis. According with these results, we can conclude that aptitude has a positive and directly influence in the intention of using Web 2.0 teaching tools after pandemic COVID-19. According with these results, we can conclude that we have had a teaching dilemma because Web 2.0 teaching tools have pros and cons. University teachers anticipate that their future teaching will change after the experience of the pandemic. Faculties also believe that Web 2.0 tools, teaching tools, are more suitable for some types of teaching than for others, according to gender, to academic files, of course, in this sense. The variable of aptitude stands out as relevant for that if we have to increase the using of teaching tools from Web 2.0, we have to work in this determining factor. In summary, the experience during the confinement derived from the health crisis seems to have changed the teaching behavior of university teachers in Spain. Thank you very much for your attention. Goseicho arigatou gozaimashita. If you have any question, I will be happy to answer it.